Have you ever stopped to consider where your food comes from? And not just the grocery store around the corner, but the very soil it springs from. Today, we delve into the complex and pressing issue of food sovereignty in the European Union. Food sovereignty, a term that has gained traction over the past couple of years, is often used to argue the necessity of production. Despite a trade surplus, the question arises, is the European Union capable of feeding itself? Does its internal production aim to meet the needs of its population or to satisfy an agro-exporting vocation? The answer is not unequivocal, and an analysis of self-supply ratios, export capacity, and dependence on imports from different sectors can provide objective elements to the debate. Taking a closer look at various sectors, it becomes evident that food sovereignty varies greatly. The analysis of trade balances allows us to study exchange equilibriums in different sectors, considering the value of products but not the balance between production and consumption volumes. Therefore, a product with a high added value can have a significant trade surplus or deficit, which doesn't necessarily provide information on the volumes involved in relation to consumption. Let's take 4 product categories: dairy products, meats, cereals, and oilseeds. For each category, we've examined the self-supply rate, export capacity, and dependence on imports. The self-supply rate, which translates the apparent capacity of a country to meet its needs from its production, considers the production achieved by EU countries in the current year. The apparent consumption integrates stock variations, corresponding to production plus imports minus exports. Export capacity is the part of production and imports that is exported, showing the exporting power of the country, but also the dependence of this production on the purchases of importing countries. Dependence on imports is the part of imports in domestic consumption, which can be high despite a significant self-supply rate, and in this case translates into a mismatch between the finished product and consumer expectations, who may, for example, prefer to buy a cheaper imported product. The European production manages to cover consumption in dairy products, cereals, and meats, and only the oilseed sector is in deficit. However, significant disparities are sometimes noted in each of these sectors. In the dairy products sector, despite a reduction in livestock, the self-supply rate is over 100% for all categories. In the grain sector, the self-supply rate is also over 100%, showing a surplus of production. However, the meat sector presents a mixed picture. While poultry and pork show a self-supply rate of over 100%, beef falls short. Finally, the oilseed sector is in deficit, with a self-supply rate significantly under 100%. In conclusion, while the European Union is largely self-sufficient in several key sectors, there are areas of concern, particularly in the oilseed sector. The disparities observed within sectors also highlight the need for targeted strategies to enhance food sovereignty. This underlines the importance of maintaining a balanced and diversified approach to agricultural production, with an emphasis on both quantity and quality. In the end, food sovereignty is not just about producing enough to feed the population, it's about producing a diverse range of foods that meet the needs and preferences of consumers, while also ensuring the sustainability of production methods. This is a challenge that requires ongoing attention and investment, but it's a challenge that the European Union must rise to meet.